Hi guys, welcome back. So let's get into it. The results from the vote of who you think should be in the England squad to go to the World Cup. I deliberately haven't looked at these so I can react to them live. It's going to be interesting to see who you've picked and I'm going to make some comment on it. Let's do like a standard squad breakdown. 3 loose head props, 3 tight head props, 3 hookers, 4 second row, 5 back row, 3 scrum halves, 3 fly halves, 4 centres and 3 back 3. Of course the squad may be different from that, but let's have a look at the results. So first of all, hooker. Who have you gone for? Well, the big votes are for the 2 established guys, George and Cowan Dickey. That makes a lot of sense. Safe selections, but behind them, quite a few votes picking up for Harry Thacker, McGuigan, Theo Dan, and also Jamie Blamire. So that's interesting. So there definitely is some shift around there for the 3rd choice, but it is just going to Harry Thacker. So those are the 3 hookers. They're the 3 that I'd gone for. If you haven't had a look at the selection video I did with Tim from Egg Chasers, linked in the description below and probably at the end. So let's get into the loose head prop. Look at that. 3 obvious choices, and it's Genge, Urbano and Ruskin, the guys that we went for in our selection. So I don't know if we influenced you or you'd have gone for them anyway, but certainly Bevan Rod and Maka Vunipola not even close to making the 3. So the same 3 loose heads that we went for. I think it's worth doing. Those 3 guys have some X factor. I think they can do something special rather than just do a job. I hate it when coaches and people say, oh, they could do a job, which kind of means they're not quite good enough. Anyway, tight head prop, let's have a look. 2 obvious choices, Sinclair and Will Stewart. That makes sense, they're the experienced guys. And then it's an absolute bun fight, and Allo has just pipped it from Dan Cole. That's a close one. They're the 2 in the running for 3rd choice, but you went again for our selection. The selection I went with Tim on of Allo, because he's just an impact guy, something special, something unknown. Dan Cole, is he going to win you a World Cup? Well, you're not quite sure either. That's interesting. Second rows, we're saying we're taking up to 4. Now, if there's doubles here, obviously we can't have the same person second row and back row, so we might have to go to the next vote down. But let's have a look at Atoje, Chesham, clear leaders. Tim from Egg Chaser said Chesham was probably looking good to make the recovery, so hopefully that is the case. Atoje, Chesham, then Dave Ribbons as a clear 3rd. I thought he should go, and then Courtney Laws as your 4th. Now, because second row's come up first, we'll put him into the second row. So if he comes into the back row, we'll have to take someone else. Other guys in there, Johnny Hill, Launchbury, George Martin, yeah, getting some votes, but it's a clear 4 for Chesham, Atoje, Laws and Ribbons, and I think that's the 4 I would definitely want to take. So far, you're literally agreeing with what we're saying. Come on, guys, you've got to disagree. Into the back row. So we're taking 5. I let you select up to 6. Tom Curry and Jack Willis are definites for you, and I think they will go. I think they're the clear front runners. Some of you saying that maybe Curry hasn't done as much as, say, Ben Earl, but I think they're going to go. Then who's next? Zach Mercer as number 3, so he'd be your number 8. Lewis Ludlam, a lot of you guys like him. He is a really good player and very flexible, which I think would help. And then who is the 5th choice? Well, is Ben Earl goes as well. So balance-wise, are we missing a bit? No, so I got it wrong. Tom Pearson goes. Tom Pearson pipped Ben Earl, and Ben Earl once again is left out. Many of you guys in the comments saying you just can't leave Ben Earl out, and I agree, he's just phenomenal as a player. His form is amazing, but he's up against a lot of strong opposition. That could be his issue. I hope he goes, but how do they find room for him? Well, I couldn't in my selection, so let's see. And you guys just pipped him out as well. So we've got Jack Willis, who could play 6 or 7. Tom Curry could play 6 or 7. Lewis Ludlam could play anywhere. Mercer's kind of your 8, and then not Ben Earl, but Pearson I think could play anywhere as well. So I think we've got lots and lots of cover. Ezekwe not even picking up a vote. A few votes for Ted Hill. I still think he's a good player. Anyone else? Sam Simmons, not quite making it there. A lot of you said you've got to take Sam Simmons for his impact. And Benny Vunipola, a couple of you saying that you need some heft, and Vunipola is the only big guy there. Don Brandt not making it either. So those are our 5. Okay, that's interesting. So we don't have to change around because Laws didn't make it anyway. On to scrum halves, and I'm saying they're taking 3. Now, they might not. They might take 2. but I think they'll take 3, and if it is going to be a 2, I think it could be 2 fly halves. Anyway, Mitchell, you guys agree that Mitchell is the best. We think he's the best, but you're going for Van Poortvliet. We hadn't selected Van Poortvliet in our squad because we hadn't seen enough from him, but enough of you guys trusting in his ability, and yeah, hopefully he does come good. And then it's very close between Quirk and Spencer. You guys going for Quirk. We had taken Spencer because I think he's one of the best around. But yeah, Mitchell, Van Poortvliet, Quirk. I can see that working. Quirk as your impact guy, and then a few votes for the rest. Randall picking up a few. Fly half, which could be 2, but I'm being safe and saying 3 here, and it's pretty simple. Farrell, Ford and Smith. Finn Smith picking up a couple. If it is 2, who's it going to be? That is really interesting. Could it be Farrell and Ford? Could be Farrell and Smith. It's definitely going to be Farrell. He's playing fantastically well at 10. In the Premiership final, we saw him again excelling at 10 for Saracens, and he's probably playing the best he's ever played at 10. So I just hope they don't play him in the centres unless it's an emergency. But yeah, Ford or Smith, you guys are probably edging Ford if it's 2. But anyway, those are the 3. Centres, so I'm saying we're taking 4 centres. It could be more, it could even be less if you're taking Farrell, but I think it's going to be at least 4. A lot of you not many of you saying take Farrell as a centre, so that's interesting. Kelly picking up quite a few, but so Lawrence and Tuolangi, 2 definites, and I think that's right. I think they are your big explosive guys. They're the only 2 I think we've really got, so I think you have to go with them. Then it's super close. Marchant and Slade, so they would be your 2 13s if Lawrence and Tuolangi are your 12s. But Kelly just edged out, and plenty in the comments saying you've got to take Dan Kelly as your only genuine 12, and I completely understand that because he's the guy who's got a bit of a power game, bit of a running game, good defence and a great passing game as well, probably better than any of the other 12s. So, you know, if you took 5, then obviously you'd be taking Kelly as well, but for now it's Lawrence and Tuolangi as your 12s and Slade and Marchant as your 13. So you've selected a pretty balanced one there, and a few going for Daly. Daly again making a great charge for Saracens, but plenty of you saying you just don't quite trust him when it comes to the crunch, and that's kind of similar to me. He can do amazing things, and I wouldn't be devastated if he went because he can do such great stuff. It's just I would be a little concerned. Maybe rightly so, maybe not. Do we have any double ups in the back 3? Freddie Stewart, you're saying definitely goes as the 15. Watson as well, so I think those are the 2 obvious picks. And then Arundel making a huge run there as well in the votes, even though he doesn't start for London Irish. London Irish in a lot of trouble. We'll see what happens with them next week. Hopefully they stay in the Premiership, but things are hairy. We'll come back to that at another point. Number 3, Malins. Yeah, that's interesting. We hadn't picked him, just we don't think he excels at anything, but he is very good at everything, if you know what I mean. But he's a wonderful player. You put him in space, he can do great things. Great to get in the final of the Premiership, so you're putting him in there as your 3rd choice. Then Daly, like I said, making a really good charge for Saracens, and he is very versatile and experienced, so he's number 4 and 5. So yeah, there we go. So Freddie Stewart, Watson, Arundel, Malins and Daly, and that covers an awful lot of positions. But a lot of guys missing out. Many of you saying Big Joe should go in the comments. Freeman, Hassel Collins, Murley doesn't make it. Radwan, so there are some choices there, but you've selected a sensible mix, I would say. So anyway, guys, up on the screen is the results of the vote. This is the squad you think should go for England to the World Cup. Let me know what you think of the results, and I'll catch you next time.